Hi, I'm Kevin Lawrence, and today I'm here with Cameron Keller, and I'm quite excited to share with you some insights from a conversation Cam and I had about 6 months ago, and share with you in particular some of the shocking statistics around mental health in the workplace, and how we can focus on mental wellness, and not only can it do great things for our people and help our people to manage the stress and be better performing versions of themselves, but also there's actually a bottom line benefit to this as well, which makes it a lot easier to get some companies to buy in. So Cam, tell us, why do you have this incredible passion for mental wellness?
Well, not unlike yourself, Kevin, in my work with CEOs and executives, I've started to really understand just how significant of an impact that mental wellness and mental health has in the workplace. One of the things we now know is that the prevalence of mental illness is so high in the Canadian context. And of course, that applies worldwide. We know that almost 7 million Canadians will have a mental health issue or concern in any given year. That's 1 in 5. And to put that into perspective, we have 2.2 million Canadians with type 2 diabetes and 1.4 million with heart disease. So as you can imagine, a significant number of people in our workplaces are dealing with mental health issues and concerns.
So why does CEOs and executives need to pay attention to mental wellness, and why should they really care?
Well, Kevin, it's really quite simple. Again, with the number of people experiencing mental health issues, and the reality is that mental health is the orphan of the healthcare system. We know that based on that, as well as the kind of stigma and discrimination associated with mental illness, people don't get help. So people end up in a mental health crisis and off work before they'll actually get the help. And employers care about this for two primary reasons. One, people spend far more time in the workplace than anywhere else. So employers have the unique opportunity to influence mental wellness by promoting mental health, which creates healthier individuals, healthier workplaces, healthier families, and healthier communities. But second, Kevin, there's a significant economic argument in favor of investing in mental wellness. Investing in mental wellness simply makes good business sense.
So Cam, the real question that this boils down to is, if we get the idea that this is important and we do want to do something about it, what can we do? As CEOs, executives, leaders in companies or associations, what can we do about this issue with mental wellness and mental health?
I'd like to highlight for you two really important training programs that employers are raving about these days. One is the Mental Health First Aid Program. Now, there are currently over 100,000 mental health first aiders in Canada. Mental Health First Aid is a 2-day training program that's much like St. John's Ambulance or physical first aid that teaches people how to respond in a mental health crisis with somebody in the workplace while awaiting professional help to arrive. Another course I'd like to tell you about is the Working Mind. Now, the Working Mind is a little bit different in that it operates on a continuum model. And here's a picture of the continuum, which shows the range from being healthy right through to ill. And this is one that helps people self-assess and understand where they are on a continuum and to know when to get help. But in addition to that, this helps CEOs and executives because it helps them to partly assess where their workforce is at and know when it's time to have that critical conversation about getting the help that they need so that they don't leave work on a disability claim that's going to cost that employer a lot of money.
So Cam, a lot of the companies that I work with really care about doing the right thing for their people. They want to do things that help their people be happier, perform better, and have a better life at the same time as do well at work. So that's great. The other side of the coin is there's a real economic benefit to dealing with this issue. Tell us more about the numbers and behind this.
Yeah, well, and again, since we're in Canada today, Kevin, all I'm going to give you is Canadian numbers. Employers who actually invest in ensuring that people get the help they need when they need it can save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 per employee per year by ensuring that they get the help they need. What we know that in any given year, the cost of mental illness to the Canadian economy is over $51 billion. And of that $51 billion, over $20 billion are costs directly borne by Canadian businesses and employers. Why is that? Kevin, when somebody goes off work related to a mental illness, they're off work for an awful long time. Almost 80% of both short and long-term disability claims in Canada are directly associated with mental illness. And this week, over 500,000 Canadians will miss work due to a mental illness or a mental health concern.
So Cam, let's bring this back to us as leaders in the business world and in our communities. For a lot of the people that I work with and you work with, stress is a big part of the deal. Mental health and again, having challenges or issues around mental health is common. So from your experience and your insights, tell me, what is it that we can do for ourselves to help improve our own or strengthen our own mental wellness? And secondly, what do we need to watch out for, and at what point do we need to pick up the phone and call an expert?
Kevin, what I'd like to say to the CEO or the senior executive out there is just how important it is to have an awareness of self, to really know where you're at on that continuum that I showed you from that green to that red, and to really understand what the kinds of events, the triggers, whether they be in your work life or whether they be in your personal life or some other domain, that cause you to go to a place of less wellness. But I also think it's really important for people to talk about this openly with their coach. Hopefully all these CEOs out there have a coach working with them, and to talk about wellness. Make mental wellness an important topic. But also, if and when you find that you're coming to a point where you're less able to accomplish the tasks that are normally easy for you, that might be an indicator of time to seek help. And sometimes that can be through informal supports, talking to other CEOs, talking to your coach, but it might be making a call to a mental health professional to talk a little bit about and to share with them that maybe you've been spending a bit more time sleeping, a bit more time drinking, a bit less time on your productivity at work, and talk openly about these mental health issues. So in final summary, Kevin, what I'd really like to say is, again, mental health touches everybody, and it's pervasive in our workplaces, and it touches those of us who are executives as well. But the good news is, we can solve this problem. We can get out in front of it. We can promote the kind of help seeking that's necessary, so mental illness doesn't have to cost us so much.
So a great thanks to Cameron Keller for coming today to spend some time with us and share more about his insights around mental wellness, and one, understanding it, and two, letting us know what we can do about it. If you want to know more about mental wellness and how these programs can help,